Buff Nation, we are live. Let's get this thing going. Fall camp day one, winners impressions. We're going to talk Julian Lewis. We're going to talk Kaidon Salter, the other winners, in my opinion, from the one video I've been able to see of Colorado's practice. Thanks to Reach the People Media for putting that out there. And of course, I want to hear what you guys have to say, but we're going to start off leading with Julian Lewis. And I got to say, man, was very, very impressed from the little that I saw in the thumbnail today. I just threw on Julian Lewis. He will play in 2025. You might say you're already making that conclusion. Well, I'm kind of reading into this thing a little bit, guys, but I want you guys to see this throw here. Again, please be sure, smash that like, subscribe, get in the chat. I'll get to your comments here in just a moment, but want to shout out my friend Andy NFL putting out this little clip here. Probably saw this in Reach the People as well. But Julian Lewis looked like, in Andy's words, a seasoned vet at Buffs camp. And this is a really impressive throw here. I think this might be with the twos. It's kind of hard to tell with the offensive line, but you see London Merritt gets a nice little pressure on him. And then I just love to see Julian step up in the pocket right here and then fire at like off platform, different arm angle. And this is just a dot over the middle to Joseph Williams, transfer from Tulsa. You'll see him a lot wearing number 8. This was beautiful. And yeah, you can look at some of the other clips in the 7-on-7s as well. And the man can sling it. The young man can sling it. I do think Kaidon Salter is going to be our starting quarterback. But again, people connected to the program. I'm not. I'm just talking here on YouTube. But they've been talking about this for quite a while, about this debating a 2-quarterback system and talking about when's Julian going to get some time. And you kind of got to read between the lines. And I believe we saw him rotate in with the ones at some point. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought there was a little bit of a rotation that we were seeing because we also saw Kaidon, I think, rolling with the twos on some certain plays that were provided. But I think kind of the signs, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's a good strategy or not, I think you're going to see both of these players play at quarterback. And it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Prime, Pat Shurmur, and Byron Leftwich, who did show himself today, that's awesome to see that he's there going to be working with the quarterbacks, how they kind of divvy up these snaps. Maybe it is going to be more of kind of a Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning type of thing where Arch, he kind of had his spots last season. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on how this rotation looks in this quarterback battle at CU, but I think he's going to play. I mean, when you're seeing him make these throws like this, sometimes maybe as the season goes on, he just makes this thing like undeniable. We'll have to see. But we'll play this clip again. Just one more time. I mean, I just want you guys to see how he just slings this thing. And we'll get to some of my other winners right now. But I just thought Julian Lewis looked fantastic. He had a couple other touchdown passes that I saw in the 7-on-7 clips that were provided. And that was great. Now, when it comes to other winners for this year's or for day one, let me open up my notes real quick. Hey, Lady C, hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Couple other winners, takeaways. Martavius French with a pick on Kaidon Salter. That looked great to see a linebacker in coverage making a play with his hands like that. I think Martavius French, he's got plenty of speed. We saw this in the spring game that I like the attitude that he plays with. So love to see that. And I think DNVR earlier today, they called it a pick 6. We'll have to see. Now, Omarion Miller, he had a fantastic catch in the end zone. I forget which corner it was over, but it was a contested catch downfield. And from Kaidon Salter, beautiful throw. But Omarion Miller, Man, this guy's looking like Demaryius Thomas. He's huge. He's looking fantastic. The biggest thing with Omarion is, can he stay healthy? I think that this is the year for him. The size and speed combination, the physicality, the ability that we've seen in the little time that he's been on the field to make these big catches and contested plays, to not go down on first contact, to break tackles, get that yak. Yeah, I think that there's a lot riding on this year for Omarion Miller when it comes to possibly leaving to go to the NFL. We'll have to see. It is his third year. I also did notice, seemed to be that there were some designed run plays or option plays for Kaidon Salter. This is very important that Pat Shurmur incorporates this sort of stuff into the offense. If you go back and look at his clips from Liberty, I mean, what was really fun is that they ran speed options. They ran kind of like modern day looks of like the triple option, which is always fun too. So this is something that I'm going to be hoping we incorporate into our running attack at CU, because we're going to have to run the ball a lot more this year. Other takeaways: Cooper Lovelace, number 70. He is a center. He is going to be competing with Zarian McGill for that starting center spot. Right now, Zarian McGill was running with the ones. I believe the ones that we had out there: Seaton, Hill, McGill, Chrysler, and Larry Johnson. I think that's who we saw. Y'all let me know if you saw a different combination, but I believe that was who was mainly running with the ones on the offensive line. But Cooper Lovelace, number 70, I think he's going to make a very, very good case as fall camp goes on to be that starting center. He just brings a lot of great experience there. Amari McNeil, Tafik Thomas, man, these guys just look ready to eat. From the little I saw of them, how can you not be excited? The turf field looks amazing. I love the fact that we went to turf. The grass looked terrible. You guys know that I felt that way for quite a while, so I love to see that. A few other takeaways that I had here. DeKalen Taylor's a guy that I'm keeping an eye on, number 20. But Dallin Hayden seemed like most of the work at least shown with the ones. We saw some nice runs from Simeon Price. Forget where he transferred from. Was it Coastal Carolina? Number 26. So keep an eye out for him. Michael Welsh with a little bit of work as well. And this is one tweet that I did want to show here is Zane D'Souza, man. He looks freaking built. 6'5", 6'6", 265 pounds as a true freshman. Now, I didn't see him in any of the clips, or at least I noticed. Shout out to Keep It Real Buffs for putting this out, by the way. This little clip here. But I think he is going to get time on the field this year. I think he's an A-plus athlete, and the tight end room, I think, is a little thin. I mean, of course, why am I forgetting his name? Zach Atkins. We saw him get some work. We saw Charlie Williams get some work as well. But I want to see Zane D'Souza get more work as fall camp goes on. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. See how that whole tight end battle develops. And then Tyreek Davis, how could you not be pumped up about seeing this? He'll be wearing number 9 for the Buffs, and his Instagram handle is Wide Receiver Slayer. I love it. So Tyreek Davis, who else we got? We got Tion Parks is wearing number 3 on defense. Shout out to I Have Mad Flavor for posting this. I'll give you a follow as well. But yeah, pumped to see what we see from our DBs, and RJ Johnson looks absolutely ginormous as well. So yeah, that's about all the takeaways that I had right now. We'll see kind of what transpires moving forward with some of these positional battles, competitions, and whatnot. But again, if you guys are just tuning in right now, Julian Lewis, I think he is going to play this year. I think when you listen to how everybody's talking about him, I think it's very clear he is going to get time. How much time? I'm not really sure. But offensive line, defensive line, I'm feeling much better about. We'll see what transpires throughout fall camp. And let you see, Sam, we got a better team overall this year. Yes, I think so. I think that we have so much more depth in key positions outside of maybe, I don't know, running back is still just a huge wild card right now, but outside of running back, I'm feeling really good about this team. And we'll see who establishes themselves as kind of these next era of stars. I think we kind of are missing some star power right now, obviously, but um, I think we got the potential to play really good complementary football right now. Also, I did want to talk about this Isaiah Harge wearing the gray jersey. Can we just move this man to full-time offense? That's just kind of how I feel about this thing right now. I know that, Isaiah might get some work in the slot on defense, but I kind of like the idea. I don't know why we don't just try and convert him to running back and like a slot receiver. To me, we're so deep at wide receiver, and we got a lot of really good athletes in that room that aren't going to see the field probably as much as like all of us would want, because there's only so many snaps and reps to go around. But again, I probably sound like a broken record, but it would be great to move Isaiah Harge, Cam Michaels, some of these guys to running back, like get our best athletes on the field as often as possible, regardless of what position that is. That's just kind of how I feel about it. But we'll see what Marshall Faulk ends up cooking up with these running backs. Again, right now, Hayden looking like the number one, or opening up with the number one. But I would like to see more of what Cam Michael and Isaiah Harge can do on offense. Now, I'm pumped for Trackhawk, number 20, to Kalen Taylor. I think he's going to make some noise and some big plays for us. But overall, I just want some more juice there at the running back position. So that'll be interesting to see what transpires there. Just Flow saying, hey, David, I'm so pumped for fall camp. Man, I am so pumped that it's finally here. We got real football to talk about. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And I think I'm going to come out with a video. We'll see if I get to recording it tonight. But going over kind of the top position battles that I'm looking for. Yeah. Dwayne Smith, I'm sorry, but did you not see Salter? He had some big plays as Juju. Oh, yes. Trust me. I saw Dwayne, or not Dwayne Smith. Dwayne Smith, I did see Kaidon Salter, particularly one of his throws that I love the most was that dart to Omarion Miller down the field. And I think he threw that from the opposite hash. I did mention this a little bit earlier, but I love the fact that it also seemed like we were integrating some more running plays for him or read option plays. That's so important for this offense to have that element with Kaidon Salter. I think it's the most important element right now because we have not yet proven that we can run the ball just with running backs, right? Like having Kaidon Salter on the field, in my opinion, is the most important thing for this offense. Now, again, when you're reading through the tea leaves, and again, you see some of the arm talent, the throws that Julian Lewis made today and will make moving forward, the promotional that's going on around him, I just think he's going to play. Like, I think he's going to play. And I think he's going to do some things that Kaidon can't do. But I'm not really sure how I feel about a 2-quarterback system. That's not really my thing that I'm like super gung-ho about. But it seems to me like it's going to be happening. So that's going to be interesting to keep our eyes on and see what situations, Julian is put in as opposed to Kaidon. But Kaidon he should be the guy going into this season. And we haven't had a dual threat quarterback here since Steven Montez. And Steven Montez, I think he was a pretty good college quarterback. But Kaidon Salter is much better. I think so. And having that running element, it's going to be awesome. Agreed, says Dwayne Smith. Yeah, it's going to be fun to track this quarterback competition, man. But I do think, hey, if Julian is going to completely unseat Kaidon, I think he's going to have to make it undeniable, man, Again, just because Caden's bringing some things to this offense that are just so needed when it comes to having an attack from multiple different angles with the running game. Checking in. What's going on, Viral Authority? Good to see a lot of new faces. Well, some new faces and some of the old faces. I'll be back doing live streams much more often now that we finally hit this, fall camp. Lady C, like and support the channel, and go support Lady C. She's dropping content too now. Now, this is, I'm all for the Juju juice right here. Mahomes Jr. That's what Julian Lewis is looking like. And he doesn't even need to dress. He doesn't even need to dress like Patrick Mahomes, right? It's all about what's going on the field. Reginald Sykes, good to see you again, saying from what I've seen today, like this team is going to be more balanced than previous teams. Yes. Love how aggressive they are on both sides of the ball day one, but that's my thoughts. I think that's wonderful. I think that we're going to be more physical. And yeah, this defense, I think this is where we're going to be getting our identity from. The swagger I think that they're going to be playing with is going to be just a hell of a lot of fun to watch, man. And if we can just run the ball a little bit more, we can get them some more rest too. So, yeah, like, could we be putting up in the mid-30s points per game? Sure. It is the Big 12. It is college football. I think that is realistic, to a degree, right? We do have a lot of turnover on the offensive side of the ball, but you see teams consistently put up in the 30s. But I really do think our defense is set to take another really solid step. Could we have a top 3 defense in the Big 12? Top 3, top 4. I think that could happen. And so we might not necessarily need to put up 30 plus points, every game to win. It's going to be fun to see the ways in which we win games this year. And yeah, I'm already forgetting that Julian Lewis is only 17 years old. It's crazy. But he is going to play. Again, everybody that's actually connected to the team has talked about him playing this year, has talked about this 2-quarterback system. Regardless of how you feel about it, I think it's going to happen. Now, do they play him enough to burn a red shirt? It's going to be interesting to see. Y'all let me know. Do you think Julian Lewis burns his red shirt this year? And you got to let me know. Juju's our version of Alabama Bryce Young, future Heisman. Man, I'm all about it. I think so. Just continue to get him experience. Hopefully, he can play in the second half against Georgia Tech. Wouldn't that be great? Can play a lot against, Wyoming and Delaware. And then we'll take it from there when it comes to Big 12 play. We open up against Houston? That's awesome. We'll see how it all goes, man. But running back, wide receiver, the center battle with Cooper Lovelace and Zarian McGill, all the defensive battles that are going on, like who's going to be our starting cornerback? So I think that's totally wide open aside from DJ McKinney. So that's going to be fun to, see what develops there, along with a linebacker. Kaidon Salter might make some noise. Martavius French, big first day. Nice to see him get an interception. Reginald Hughes, an all-conference G5 guy coming up here, man. Now, Simeon Price, I think that he was number 26, but maybe he was 22. I'll need to double check. Saying he's a stud. I believe it's his last year, and he had some tough runs today. He did. Definitely running through contact. I think you saw him put a spin on as well. So, yeah, if we can get some, real solid productivity from multiple guys in the running back room, that's combined with Kaidon Salter running some speed option. Magic, baby. Now, it's all on Pat Shurmur. Now, I've been a Pat Shurmur defender. I have. But I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm going Dark Side Dave on Pat Shurmur, man, because Pat Shurmur should have everything he would want on an offense right now, aside from maybe like an all-conference tight end. but you got amazing wide receivers. I think you got a good offensive line. You got some question marks at running back, but I think some high potential guys. Talked about Simeon Pierce looking good today. Probably the guy I'm most excited about is Trackhawk to Kalen Taylor, but Dallin Hayden being removed off of that high ankle sprain, he could look a lot better this year. There should be no reason why we don't have a balanced offense this year. There should be no reason why we don't have a creative playbook to where we can incorporate speed option, triple option, read option quite often into just establishing time of possession, a physicality on this offense, and then be opening it up with the passing. Again, I want our wide receivers to get work, and they will. I think they're our most talented group on offense, right? That's not like a hot take, but I don't want us to just start out with 3 straight passing plays like we did so often over the last couple of years, right? Let's form an identity. Let's run the football. Let's have Kaidon Salter lead this thing, man. Let's not go too one-dimensional up front to where we're playing from behind. We're having to punt on a 3-and-out on an opening drive. I don't want to do that. Let's run the ball. Let's get physical. And guys like Larry Johnson, Zy Chrysler, Xavier Hill, these guys are all going to really help do that. I think Cooper Lovelace will be our starting center when it's all said and done by the end of fall camp. And yeah, him and Jordan Seaton as well. Like I think that we're going to have a much more physical group up front, especially at the guard position. That's going to be really fun to watch. So yeah, guys, let me know any other hot takes or just takeaways that you have from today's practice. And then I'm going to get some dinner, wrap some things up, and, talk some Broncos over on David Talks Broncos as well, because we got training camp going on there too. But I forgot to say this, Charilie Offerdahl retiring. I hope you guys watched that speech on Reach the People. I mean, I was kind of tearing up as well watching that. Charilie, unfortunately, went through a really severe concussion and was still suffering symptoms from that, into this summer. And so he's decided to medically retire from football. I think that's a wonderful decision. And Charilie, you're a cult hero, man. And, in Colorado Buffalo lore, like going from walk-on to scholarship and now to dental school, baby. So, wishing him all the luck. And just very proud of him, man. Real Colorado Buffalo fans, moving forward 10 years, we're going to look back fondly of Charilie Offerdahl as just like one of those guys, man, that embodied the spirit of this Coach Prime era and took it by the horns, man. So wishing him well in his recovery. I had a friend that when I was in college, he also medically retired and was a tight end. And he had a really bad concussion to where he essentially lost focus in one of his eyes. And so he had to be reading constantly to try and kind of retrain his eye, how to see, how to read. And yeah, when you go through an intense brain trauma like that, hang it up. Hang it up. No money is worth your mental health. Yeah, I'm sad for Charilie, but he's doing the right thing. And, he's going to hit up all the guys with grills in like 6-7 years. He said it himself. That's great to see. Timothy Isaac. All right. What's going on, OFB? What's going on, man? Are you guys feeling good about the first day of practice? I love to see it. And I'm just happy. I'm happy football's back. I'm happy that we're already starting to talk trash with Georgia Tech fans. Did you see that one Georgia Tech account that was already like, man, they can't stop the run. They can't cover. What are they going to do to stop our quarterback, Hayes? Really? Really? You would have thought that we're going to play at Georgia Tech. Nah, man, you got to come over to the Mountain Time Zone, play us in Boulder, right? Unless I'm tripping. I think this game's in Boulder. We're opening up at home. We got Coach Prime without a bladder. We got everything on the line, man. We're gonna come out with guns blazing, and yeah, we're gonna stick it to Georgia Tech, man. We're gonna punch him in the mouth too. I think this guy, this Georgia Tech account, I forget his name, but I think he's looking at it. He might have been watching some 2023 film or something like that, or maybe the Nebraska game where we just allowed ourselves to get walked all over, right? But as the year went on last year, outside of maybe the Kansas game, we were we were playing with attitude. We were playing physical. We were flying all over the field, man. So to think that the Yellow Jackets are just going to come in here and, you know, dog walk us, I think is insane, man. Georgia Tech's going to be a great litmus test because they're a very good team and they play football with a smash mouth personality. But that's the perfect way to open up the season playing in the Big 12 because I think the most physical teams usually are the ones that end up on top when it's all said and done at the end of the season, man. OFB saying, I'm sad about Charlie's concussion issues. He was a fan favorite, and I pray for him and his family. Yes, yes, no doubt about it. And again, Coach Prime and the football staff honoring his scholarship. So he still will be on scholarship. Hopefully he's on like the sidelines for the games. Like have him on the sideline for the games. I think that would be great. If he wants to be, a part-time volunteer coach, have him do that as well. Like a grad assistant or whatnot. Has he graduated yet? Is he working on his master's yet? Just have him GA something. Well, I guess since he's on scholarship, he can be on the sideline, right? Like that would make sense. So I still hope we see plenty from Charlie as the season goes on. And yeah, I love that he's like, we'll find somebody to pay for dental school for you too. So I think that's cool. So if I still lived in Colorado, maybe, hopefully, we'll move back at some point, and then Charilie Offerdahl can be my dentist, and he can sponsor the show. Exactly. That's the plan. That's the plan, Charlie. We'll see how it goes. Juju throwing for 600 yards against Delaware. It's got to happen. Maybe we see Juju against Houston, Wyoming, Delaware. We'll see what happens with Georgia Tech. I think that's going to be a really close game. But yeah, last year going into North Dakota State, like I was pumped, but it was like when you're playing those lower level opponents to start out the year, it's like really you don't gain anything from it because it's like you blow them out. It's like, oh, they suck. They're a smaller school. Or if you don't blow them out by enough or win by enough, then it's like you suck. And, North Dakota State or these smaller schools, they're really the only schools that gain anything from this. But it's always awesome, man, when you're going toe-to-toe with another Power 4 opponent to start the year, just like we did TCU the year prior. And, you can really make a statement there week one, man. And I think because we're not playing a lower level opponent as well, like we're going to be taking this incredibly seriously. Not that we wouldn't, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Andy's saying Georgia Tech is one of the toughest games on the schedule, in my opinion, and it makes it even harder that it's week one, that it's a week one game. They have some major talent, yes, including that guy, Eric Rivers, they signed in the transfer portal from FIU. I wanted him to be here so bad, but I don't even think he came on a visit here, guys. Like I'm trying to think if he did. That one broke my heart. But we got Joseph Williams. We got some of the other transfers in here. The guy from the Camels, I'm blanking on his name. Forgive me. And then, Joseph Williams, ton of other guys, Hakeem. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But Eric Rivers versus DJ McKinney, that's going to be great. And, yeah, we'll see who else covers him because you think they'll put Eric Rivers in the slot with some of these sets. I mean, I think he mainly played outside at FIU, right? Andy, you remind me, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe he might see some Preston Hodge as well. So yeah, GT is still holding that old hype from the Georgia 8 overtime game. Yeah, where they still lost, right? CU's got a great QB play. Yeah, humble bees. That's right. We gotta humble these bees. Bees, they can't be arrogant. They can't be full of themselves. Bees are like, nice, man. No, man, we are buffaloes. Outside of our real life mascot that needs to be addressed after this season. I pray to God we start working on Ralphie 7. But, buffaloes, they are crazy. They are aggressive. They are deadly, right? It's sad that our current mascot does not embody those qualities. But yeah, we gotta buff them up, rough them up. Go see you. Yeah, Andy's saying, yeah, Rivers is an outside guy mainly. I expect DJ to shadow him the whole game. That's going to be great. And I can't wait to see how DJ is just, unfairly overanalyzed by all of Twitter. So dumb, man. People are bored. I guess that's what it is. But guys, I'm going to get out of here. Really thank you guys so much for your time. These 30 minutes blew by. I'll be back, talk about day 2, maybe go through some camp battles that I'm looking forward to. We'll see what else I can film. Greatly appreciate all you guys sticking with me. We're now going into my 3rd season, doing this thing consistently. Thank you to all who have been here with me. You guys are who makes it fun. Have a wonderful evening, and Go Buffs.